Hello everyone. Today we start chapter 1st of class 12th, that is reproduction in organisms. In this chapter, our first definition is lifespan. What is lifespan? It is the duration between the birth till the natural death of an organism. It is the survival period of an organism. So there is a cycle of the survival of organisms which starts from their birth, then organism grow, and after a particular lifespan they have to die. So it is the time between birth and death of an organism, which is termed as lifespan. So if death is natural, is death is happens in all organisms, then how species are continuously present on earth? The process which helps the continuity of species on earth, that particular process is reproduction. So it is defined as a biological process in which an organism give rise to young ones or give rise to offsprings similar to itself. It is the biological process that allows the organisms to reproduce. It allows the organisms to produce their young generation, to produce their young ones, or to produce their offsprings. And it is the only process on earth which makes the survival of species, which makes the survival of organisms on earth. Now there are two types of reproduction. First is the asexual reproduction and other is the sexual reproduction. So let us discuss about asexual reproduction. When offspring is produced by a single parent with or without the involvement of gamete formation, the reproduction is asexual. In this, single parent is involved. Only an individual is able to reproduce. An individual have the potential to produce their offsprings. Now with and without the involvement of gamete formation means if there is a cell and it divides into two parts, this is the simple asexual method without formation of gamete. Now if there is a organism and it reproduces its gamete, then this gamete develops into an young organism. Without fusion, there is no formation of male gamete and female gamete. There is only a gamete. Without fertilization, this particular gamete develops into an young organism. So it is the simple mode of reproduction which happens on those organisms which have a simple body organization, or maybe they are only unicellular organisms. Now the second is the sexual reproduction. In the sexual reproduction, when two parents participate in the reproductive process and involve fusion of male and female gamete, it is called sexual reproduction. In asexual, only the single parent is involved, but in the case of sexual reproduction, there is involvement of two parents. Both the parents produce their gametes, then there is fusion of male and female gametes, means fertilization will take place, then zygote will develop, and this zygote develops into an new organism. Now there is a term, clone is given here. This particular term is related with asexual reproduction. The offsprings produced are genetically and morphologically similar to each other and to the parent are called clones. As we already discussed that in asexual reproduction there is involvement of a single parent. When this single parent divides or produce their offsprings, the offsprings are morphologically and genetically similar to each other. There is no variation. They are just the exact copies of each other. So that particular group of offsprings are called as clones. Now we have discussed in class 11th 5 kingdom classification given by Whittaker. Now in that 5 kingdom classification we have Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. So the 2 kingdoms are given here, Protista and Monera. In Protista what comes? Amoeba, Paramecium, Euglena. So these are the members of Protista, and bacteria are the sole members of kingdom Monera. So in kingdom Protista and Monera, cell division is itself a mode of reproduction. These are identical events. We can say reproduction occurs, we can say division occurs, both the terms are equal. Cell division is itself a mode of replication or reproduction in kingdom Protista and Monera. So these are the simple organisms having very simple body organization. Now there are different types of asexual reproduction, and the different types of asexual reproduction are binary fission, budding. So first we discuss about binary fission. So look this term, this is binary and fission. Bi means two, means formation of two cells, and fission means division. So when a cell divides into two halves and rapidly grow into an adult, the particular type of division is called as binary fission. The organisms showing this simple mode of reproduction always produce two daughter cells. The examples are Paramecium, amoeba. Just have a look of the diagram. If we have this amoeba, this center is the nucleus. So the next is there is elongation of the nucleus in amoeba, and next event is division of nucleus. There is division of nucleus, and finally there is division of cytoplasm, means there is formation of two daughter cells. So as you see in the diagram, in the third diagram there is formation of two nucleus. So in binary fission, what organism, any one organism who reproduced by binary fission, the two process are compulsory. First is the division of nucleus, which is called as karyokinesis, and second is the division of cytoplasm, which is called as cytokinesis. After completion of the cytokinesis, there is formation of two daughter cells. Two daughter cells means binary fission. So the examples are amoeba and paramecium. Now the second type of asexual reproduction is budding. So in this, the organism reproduced by the process of budding, and in this process bud will occur. It reproduced by formation of bud. So the small buds are produced that remain attached initially with parents and get separated on maturation. The example is yeast. This is yeast. There is an nucleus. Now what happened? There is an outgrowth in the form of bud. In the next slide, what we see that this nucleus divides into two, and finally when this bud matures, it just remove from their parent and live an independent life. So when the organism reproduced by an outgrowth in the form of bud, this process is called as budding. This budding is also happens in hydra also. Now there are some other reproductive structures. You have to remember the animal as well as the reproductive units. First is the zoospores. These zoospores are the motile structures. Motile means movement. They have the potential to show the movement because they bear flagella. This is an spore, and if bears flagella, because of this flagella they are motile in nature. So this particular type of zoospores present in fungi and in algae. In algae, a particular member is Chlamydomonas. So the members of Chlamydomonas, they all algae produced their asexual reproductive units in the form of zoospores. Now the second example is Penicillium. This is also a type of fungus. So in this Penicillium, the asexual reproductive units are conidia, and these conidia are always occurs in chain manner. Okay, we already discussed budding in hydra. Next is gammules. These gammules are also bud, but it is present inside the body of an organism. So these are the internal buds. So these gammules are the internal buds present in sponge, and this sponge are the member of phylum Porifera. Now next is spore formation. This spore formation occur in Rhizopus. This Rhizopus is also an fungus which reproduced asexually by the spore formation. Now, if asexual reproduction happens in plants, then a new term is given which is called as vegetative propagation. This vegetative propagation is of two types, natural and artificial. So when an organism or when a plant show its vegetative propagation by natural method, so which vegetative part is used by the plant? If they propagate by root, the examples are sesame, sweet potato. You have to learn the examples. If the vegetative propagation is by stem, the examples are potato, ginger, turmeric. If the plant propagates by using its leaf, the examples are bryophyllum, begonia. And if the plant use its bulbils, the examples are agave and lily. So these all are the vegetative parts through which plant propagate naturally. Now, artificial vegetative propagation, in this particular type of propagation humans are involved. If humans are doing vegetative propagation, then the process is artificial. No, the different types of artificial vegetative propagations are cutting, as we done in rose, sugarcane, grapes. Next is grafting. This grafting is done in mango, apple. In this grafting, we are using two superior varieties One variety in which we are using the superior root system, and in other variety we are just using the superior variety of shoot system, and we have to join these two systems and we try to make an individual superior variety having both the systems superior root as well as shoot. So this particular grafting is done in mango and in apple. Next is layering. This layering process is done in jasmine and in betel. So how this layering occurs? We have a planted plant and it has lots of branches. So we have to select a branch and we just dig the branch inside the ground, inside the soil, and we are using that branch which are having their nodes, because for the new propagation the nodal area is necessary, and after a number of days when there is formation of root, then we have to cut the branch and plant this particular branch on another side. So this type of artificial vegetative propagation is called as layering, which is done in jasmine and in betel. Next is air layering, which is commonly known as gutti, and it is propagated in chiku. So what we have to do in air layering, we have a plant, we have to take a branch, we just remove its bark and we are taking the nodal portion and just apply moist soil, manure and some oxine on that particular portion and cover that portion by polythene. So after few days when there is origination of roots, we have to cut this branch and plant that particular portion on any surface. So when we are initiating the roots to grow in aerial environment, the vegetative propagation is called as air layering or gutti. Now there are some other vegetative parts. If the vegetative part is root, the examples are dahlia, asparagus, and the vegetative parts are stem. So these all examples are the different modifications of stem, like tuber in potato, bulb in garlic, onion, rhizomes in ginger, turmeric, corms in colocasia, suckers in mint, runners in oxalis, stolons on jasmine, offsets, pistia and eichhornia. So you have to learn all the examples. There are lots of modification of stem in the form of tuber, bulb, rhizome, corm, suckers, runners, stolons and offset. Now next is, as we discuss here, eichhornia. Okay, so this eichhornia is also called as water hyacinth, and this water hyacinth is termed as terror of Bengal. It is the headache of Bengal. So what are the points related with this water hyacinth? It is one of the most invasive weed. This plant behaves like a weed. Now it grows everywhere when there is a standing water. If there is a presence of standing water, this water hyacinth propagate easily. Now it drains oxygen from water. It absorbs the oxygen from the aquatic habitat, which leads to the death of fishes. This is the main headache of this water hyacinth. It absorbs all the oxygen from the aquatic habitat, which leads to the death of fishes. And this plant is introduced in India because of its pretty flowers and shape of leaves, and it propagate by vegetative portion offsets. So this method of propagation is very fast and it covers the whole surface of water and absorbs the oxygen, which leads to the death of fishes. That's why this water hyacinth is termed as terror of Bengal. Now there are some questions. What is the importance of vegetative propagation? It occurs in plant in which no seed formation takes place. Those plants, they do not have the potential to produce seeds. They propagate easily by vegetative propagation. Now the next point is it results formation of clones. Means if we want to generate same type of plant, so we are just move towards the vegetative propagation, because in this the newly developing plants are exact copies of their parents. Next is propagation occurs in short duration. We are not using the seed, we are just using the branch or some other part, vegetative part. So the propagation of that part, it takes short duration and the plant grows in a short duration of time. And this is a very useful practice for the horticulturist, the practice in which we are using to grow fruits or vegetable plants. So for that we mostly prefer the vegetative propagation. Now the next question is difference between sexual and asexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, as we already discussed, two parents are involved, male and female parents both are involved. And we already discussed that gamete formation will takes place, and gametes are always formed in sexual reproduction by the process of meiosis division. Meiosis division is also called as reduction division. Because of this meiosis, the gametes are always in haploid condition. If 2n is the diploid condition and n is the haploid condition. So in sexual reproduction, male and female produce their haploid gametes. Next is crossing over takes place. This crossing over is a stage in meiosis division in which there is pairing of chromosomes. And when there is pairing of chromosomes in this stage, they have to share their genetic material, which are the source of variation. So in sexual reproduction, meiosis will occur. In meiosis, crossing over will occur, and because of this crossing over, more variations occur in sexual reproduction. And if variations are there, then we can say that clones are not produced. The offsprings which are produced are not identical to their parents or identical to each other. Now, in this, when two parents are involved, in asexual reproduction, single parent is involved. Meiosis occur, no meiosis division occur in the asexual reproduction. If meiosis is not there, crossing over is not there, and if crossing over is not there, there is no occurrence of variations. And if variations are not there, that's why we can say that the offsprings are exact copies of each other. So this is the short video of first segment of our first chapter. Thank you for watching it. Thank you.